All right, what's up, y'all? You're tuned into Busy Boys Uncensored. I'm Macy.
I'm Sakani.
I'm Ron.
I'm DeMonte.
I'm Ja.
And this is episode 6, the Hookup episode. Y'all know it's not a Busy Boys Uncensored season unless we talking about sex, okay? So we are joined by a very, very special guest, Ron Bellamy. Let's clap it up. Okay, so Ron boasts over 100,000 followers on Twitter and is a leading figure in the content creation world. And we are so glad to have you on to join us today.
Yes.
Did I leave anything out? Anything you want to tell the audience?
No, that was
Good.
great. Thank
Okay,
you.
cool,
Thank you
cool,
for
cool.
having me, guys.
All right, let's jump into it. So what are we all listening to today? And it's been brought to my attention that I did not take a song on the first episode of this season, so I'm going to do 2. My first one is What's the Time Where You Are by Troye Sivan. And then my other one is Press Play by Meta.
Ooh, good one.
Period. Mine is Feather by Sabrina Carpenter. Yep.
Mother.
Mother.
Oh, that's
auntie?
such
Sister,
a cute song.
I
daughter.
love that song. It's so
Um,
good.
The song right now is JT Servin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
I have to get into the album more. I haven't, mixtape. I haven't really given it a full. Isn't it a mixtape?
Well, she changed it.
Because it was album at first.
No, I mean just the correction just made me key. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
My song of the week will be Codeine Crazy by Future.
Codeine crazy.
Codeine Crazy.
All right, so
You scrolling through your library?
no, because it was this Cupcake song I wanted to say because I started listening to her album.
DUI.
Don't give me that face, because Cupcake
Cupcake is
Lit.
eating.
Lit.
eats
Cupcake
like
is so
eating.
That song.
Her-
Mouth wide open.
mouth wide open like I was at the dentist. But even outside of like the jokey music, she can
Okay.
really rap. Like
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
ghostwriting for some of the girls. She can rap, and I didn't even get through the whole album. I literally only heard the first song of her new album. But I was literally like, wow, this sounds so much better than so much of the music I heard this year. Like
Mhm.
it was just like, and to me, I'm like, this is what an introduction song for album to me for a rapper should
like
sound
track
like.
1.
Yeah, like I'm like, but you went right to it. Like
But you didn't listen to track 2.
I was just at work.
And it might have been too much for work.
It was, I was trying to tap in. It started getting real crazy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this later. But the first song, really, I was just like, she was doing her thing. So that's gonna be my song this week. It's called Grillin' Niggas 2. So
You
I
heard
need
the
to tap
first
into
one?
Grillin' Niggas 1. No, I don't even. Is that the one she redid the video for?
I don't remember, but I love that song.
She's really good, to be
She
honest.
spits her ass off.
And she's been
Yeah.
around for a minute, too.
She is.
I feel like I heard about her retiring at some point because she felt like she was leading the children astray.
What?
Mm.
Y'all don't remember that?
No.
She had like a
No.
breakdown on Twitter and she was like, all of my music is so brainwashing and it's just so bad for the community. She was like, I'm retiring. I guess she
Oh, I don't remember.
She
She
said-
changed her
Maybe
mind.
she did
that
like a rebrand or something.
she said, fuck that. I gotta make this
Yeah.
money.
I think she honestly just makes diverse music instead of just like fucking music now,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
okay.
so
Period.
just switch it up a little bit.
Shout out to Cupcake.
Shout out to Cupcake, girl. Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Come on. We need you. All right. So before we get into what pissed us off this week, we have to shout out one of our sponsors, Elevate Productions. So we did a partnership with them on 420. It was live music. It was free
So
blunts.
beautiful.
It was great vibes and it was such a good time. So yeah, check them out on socials. And yeah.
Shout out to Elevate.
Shout out to
Period.
Elevate.
So next segment, what pissed us off this week? And so I was just telling Sakani, last time we all talked about this together, I was telling y'all all of the tickets, the speeding tickets that I have in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we talked, it was 3. Now it's 5.
Oh, my God.
They're accumulating.
So I'm pissed off about that. It's totaling like $700 that I have to pay. And I just know DC is making like millions and millions of dollars off of us. And it kind of makes me think like only poor people have to follow the law. A rich person, they get a $200 ticket in the mail. They're like, okay, I'm going to speed tomorrow. But a bitch like me, I'm like, wow. But yeah, that's what pissed me off.
Yeah. Well, speeding 5 times is crazy.
That's not the point.
And those were just the times he got caught.
Right.
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 They have a lot of hidden cameras in like DMV area now too, though.
Yeah,
so
it's-
it's like really hard to catch it.
And I understand why, because it's like pedestrians get hit a lot out there.
Mhm.
So it needs to happen. But it's just like, damn.
Damn.
You didn't want to be the reason.
Right. I have to pay it.
Hmm.
That's me.
Okay, period. My timer. Okay, so y'all can't see it, but I have a stitch right here. because a teapot broke on some Final Destination shit, and where it broke off, it landed on my foot,
Oh my God.
and it gashed my foot open,
Mhm.
and I started bleeding like crazy, but I didn't feel like I needed stitches, so I went. That happened on Thursday. I went on Monday, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to stitch this up." And yeah, that's what pissed me off because I haven't been able to wear heels out or like just walk around normal. I've been limping for like a week and a half now, but I get the stitches out on Tuesday, so
Queen.
Let's celebrate that.
small wins. But yeah, that was what pissed me off this week.
Okay. Today I found out that my Beats headphones have a short in like the right ear. And so like while I was on my way here, I was like literally like a DJ, like trying to like,
Oh no.
like move it in different positions so it could start working. And like it would like come in at certain points and I was just like, yes. And then like it would go out. So that was my experience today. It literally pissed me off today.
Damn.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
That would annoy
That's
me.
like the most annoying thing to be
My
honest.
music is my life, like,
Yeah.
especially on the
Seriously,
streets
like
and then the subway.
traveling on a train. Like, I was
Mhm.
like, oh my God.
I'd be miserable. without
It always happens like when a good part of the song comes on to you. It's like, what the fuck? But sorry, y'all. I don't have anything that pissed me off this week.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I
just
find that
been
hard
trying
to
to, like-
believe.
Right.
Oh.
Be real.
Well,
Be real.
Well, no, we'll come back to you. John, you go ahead.
yeah.
All right. I got a ticket for jumping the train yesterday.
Mm.
I was so annoyed. I'm on my way to work, and I literally
they-
did forget like my Metro card and everything. So like, don't get me wrong, I be jumping the train sometimes. So I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, this one time I'll jump the train. But like, I have a Metro card and I forgot it at home. So my ass, it's like I saw people like kind of, they looked like they wanted to jump, but they was kind of just standing on the back, and the train was coming. So I just go up, jump. The police come right off they was in the cut, like hiding somewhere in the train. I'm like,
I hate
oh
that
my
kind of
God.
thing.
So like, they were just giving like, they was like, you don't have your ID on you? I'm like, no, I don't have my wallet. Like, that's why I jumped. And they're like, you don't have anything of your ID, any pictures or anything? And I do, but I was just like, no, I said I don't have my ID. So they're like, well, if you give us any fake information, you're gonna go to jail. And I'm like, girl, just like, so I'm like, I get them all my information. And they just start getting real like sassy toward the end. Like I put my hand in my pocket. Oh, take your hand out of your pocket. Like I'm like,
No.
Oh, hell no.
yeah, so that's mine. I was just annoyed. My boyfriend tells me I need to stop jumping the train, and I agree. But
Yeah.
like, I just
Because they're getting more strict with it now.
it's
like,
just
not
really
even worth it.
ridiculous though. Like, bitch,
Yeah.
go stop crime.
Right.
Right.
I'm trying to go somewhere.
Sometimes if
Exactly.
you use your phone, you can have like a card that doesn't work and it'll.
Oh, I do that sometimes,
Yeah.
but then you can't do it again. Like after it,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Right.
once you do the
Yeah.
little decline thing.
Okay.
Uh,
Then what the gag is with that, when you do tap it again, it will charge you for the other time where it didn't go through.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes
We
the
need
charges
that
are a little
gag.
late. Like it happens like a week later or
Oh,
something.
I had
I've
no
noticed.
clue. Damn.
New York is insane. I hate the tickets.
Money hungry. It's a society we live in. Tay, did you have anything, or you want us to just move on?
We can move on.
All right, cool.
It was good.
So before we get into the discussion for the episode, we have some questions for you, Ron.
Oh.
So the first one is going to be, let's just jump right into it. Let's get uncensored. What's a sexual fantasy that you've crossed off your checklist?
Like I think like watching movies like with like Paid in Full, like Ballers and like Black Culture. Like I've had sex in a limousine.
Mm.
So I think that would be like a sexual fantasy that I've
Yeah, that's hot.
That's hot.
Yeah.
I love Paid in Full. It's one of my favorite hood movies.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen Paid in Full.
It's so good.
Who's in it?
Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameron is just
Niggas get shot every day, B. That's what he said.
Mackay Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Oh, his phone.
I just know the movie. I've
All the
never
fine
seen the
niggas
movie.
that you know
Yeah, he's
that is very
so-
90s.
The good night- okay.
Yeah.
It came out around the same time as like Juice and everything too.
It's gonna
Dude,
get you.
it's a
It's gonna get
crazy
you
ass
up. It's
movie.
gonna get you up. It's
Yeah,
gonna get you
I'm
up.
gonna
And isn't Regina? No, Regina.
I think she was.
George?
Yeah, like, she was-
She's like, oh, I want to be born with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was one of the main love interests in that.
Okay, period. So that's cool. I would love to do that too, and I want to be in an airplane one day too. My hawk.
A jet.
It would have to be a
private jet.
Yeah,
Yeah, private
because
jet.
I've been on
Y'all
like
thought I was
so
gonna
many.
get on a Spirit airplane and
Oh,
okay.
well,
Have you done
It's
that before?
People
possible
go
if
to the bathroom
everyone is
together.
asleep around you to
Right.
like do something, but that's a first class event.
Yeah,
like
you can't just do that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
why do you feel so many people in our community, specifically like the Black LGBT or just the LGBT community in general, are quick to judge / condemn gay content creators?
I think that for most people, like without knowing too much, it seems like the easy way out.
Mm.
And so
When it's not easy at all.
and so I feel that, I don't judge people for judging. It just is human nature. We all judge on a daily basis. So
Mhm.
I'm glad that I've reached a space where that doesn't really affect me, but I get it. Like, people are working hard and it seems as though you're just chilling,
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't see like all that goes in
Yeah.
between it.
But I also see it in the straight, because I'm just like pro sex worker, and like I'm like tapped into all markets. So it really happens to all like straight content creators as well. It just seems like
Mhm.
you're
Yeah,
just
people-
chilling and fucking, and
Yeah, people
Your
be
life
losing
is
family
easier for
members.
you.
that's
people
a
be losing
percentage
friends.
of it, but
Yeah.
it's so much more.
Mhm.
Period. Love that. All right. So let's see. What's a goal you want to accomplish this year?
I want to get out of the box that I'm in. I feel like I'm in a box.
What box is that?
Like, I'm just, in my eyes, local.
Mhm.
Like, I want to be global.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just very, so just working on proving myself, because that's
Yeah.
pretty much what this game is all about. Is just like
Mhm.
that, you're bringing something different to the table. You're bringing something different to the game.
Yeah. Something
And,
unique.
like, I'm always challenging myself to like go harder. So
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Well, thank you for answering all of those.
Yeah.
And it's so glad to have you on again.
great questions.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think we all here have hooked up with someone before. So let's get into it. Let's define hooking up first. By hooking up, we don't mean kissing in the backseat in the movie theater, like making out, a little rub-a-dub-dub. No, we mean
Fucking.
fucking,
Down.
sucking dick,
Sucking,
eating
licking,
ass.
fucking.
I got to it.
Intercourse.
Okay.
That's what we mean by hooking up. So, hooking up is a very, very kind of, it's a topic that gets a little hard reactions out of people. So some people like really hate hooking up. They think that that's like, Christians, you should not hook up. You should be married before you do that. But we know people casually hook up all the time. And so we want to talk about our experiences with it. And so my first question is for what's everyone's experience with hooking up? And what age did you start hooking up? And what was your first time like?
So I did stuff before I turned 18, but when I truly had sex, I was 18 and I was dating this 28-year-old. He had his own place, whatever. And he was going to take me out on a date, but I don't know. We ended up in his house for some reason, obviously.
That's always how it starts.
Exactly.
I thought we were going to.
Right. We ended up at his place and I was like, okay.
Well, he has a 28-year-old dating a minor.
I wasn't a minor.
You said this is after you're 18.
Yeah, I was 18. He was 28. So just 10 years apart.
He waited for the date, bitch.
We were dating for like 2 months at this point. 2 or 3, I can't remember. But we went to his place and we had sex. And it was great. That was my first time having sex for real. And, it's something about like it going in smoothly that really does it shows you what you're going into, I feel like. Because sometimes people are rough with just putting it in, and it's a foreshadow to what the sex is about to be. But yeah, my first time, no complaints. It was great.
So my first time hooking up, I was quite young. I was in high school. Telling my age, but at that time there was a website called localhookups.com. And
They didn't try to hide it at all.
Like,
Local
no
hookup,
nickname.
I was definitely very too young to be on that website. I definitely lied about my age to make a profile. And so I was talking to guys, and yeah, so my first time, like, I literally lost my gay virginity on a hookup. And so yeah, we don't have enough time to go into it fully, but
It's really a common thing. A lot of people lose their virginity with a hookup.
yeah, it was quite rough, and it was something I'll never forget, but it was a key. Yeah.
I feel like for me, it was also in high school. I'm thinking now I think 17 maybe. And this just also came with like the experimenting with like people in high school, you know, kind of like trying to figure out what that is. And yes, I was 17 and I remember I had just got my car. And that's when I got my car, I was really doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And
Fast ass.
Oh.
my mom said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'll be right back." And yeah, I didn't start bottoming until like maybe a year after I started topping. So I lost my top virginity first and then I bottomed. But the bottom one was crazy because it was like on an air mattress, I remember. And we couldn't be loud. And it was so painful because I was just like, I wasn't really prepared for everything.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was prepared. I was ready, but it was just like,
You ain't got the
comfortable?
grip on that air mattress.
Air mattress is crazy.
I said, "Oh my God, wait, oh."
You don't know until you know.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's when I was just like, you know, that ain't really my tea all the way, but I will do it if it come down to it. I enjoy bottoming, but it's not like, I'm not like,
Now, was it a? But
Here
was
we
it a hookup,
go.
though, or was it-
the top virginity was a hookup.
Okay.
Second one was someone I was seeing. It wasn't a relationship, but we were like heavily seeing one another.
Okay.
I also met someone on a website. I met them on Tagged. And if you would ask me at the time, y'all remember that from last season?
Yes, we do. We remember.
So I met them on Tagged, and at the time, if you would have asked me, that was like my nigga, so I wouldn't have considered it a hookup. But just like in hindsight, like it was definitely a hookup. We didn't have a serious relationship. But we were talking to each other as if we were boyfriends, but we became boyfriends after like 5 messages, you know? So it wasn't like, it was like a very young, like, oh my God, I really like you, you really like me. We would talk on the phone sometimes, but we didn't talk that much. By the time we first hung out, it was at the mall and we like messed around in the bathroom. Like we went to the movies and stuff. And then the first time we had sex, like this was when I lost my bottom virginity. It was the first time I actually came too. Like, and
Oh yeah.
I came while he was having sex with me, and
You
it was
had to
I
jump
thought I
up at it.
peed on him because I never came before. Every time I watched porn and jacked off, I was like, every time I pre-came, I thought I came. So the first time I actually came, I was just like, oh my God.
Right.
It was the most amazing feeling. But I ended up running into him in Rochester like a few years after that. We hooked up again because like it was good sex. Like the first to like lose my virginity to him, and then even the follow-up sex a few years after that, both hookups were good. He's not somebody I would ever like. He was one of them gays that wore like blue and green contacts and like he was like a very specific type of gay in my mind, and he's not really my type, but we got along very well.
Small town boy.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
yeah.
very that,
Yeah.
like very small town gay.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
the
first-
thigh for me, Macy.
Huh?
It's the thigh for me.
Oh, you like
just
it?
got your little thigh out.
He said, "Y'all gonna see this outfit." bitch."
Okay.
So the first time I ever had sex, it was with a boyfriend, so that's not really a hookup.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about a hookup.
the second time I hooked up was actually with my first boyfriend's ex. Yeah, very small town. There was like 4 gay people.
So
Small
it
town
wasn't a
gays?
lick bag.
No.
It just wasn't that many options.
Yeah.
Ah, got you.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
It wasn't a look back at all.
Mm-mm.
Damn, you really
the
just-
downward smirk kind of gives me.
It wasn't. It was just limited supply. There was
Okay.
5
You had to
toilet
get what you
papers on
could
the
get.
floor. Yeah, but you know, it was fine. I mean, didn't really know. I topped. It was in the car, in the trunk.
Mm.
In
In the
the
trunk.
like it was like
Mhm.
a
It wasn't even
SUV
supposed
style?
to. I was like 16.
Oh.
It wasn't even supposed to be. We wasn't even supposed to go that far.
Mm.
But then one thing got to
It
another.
was too hot.
Yeah,
Was it like in a like a truck or was it like a car?
Yeah, I'm confused about the
it was
truck.
like a sedan. So like,
Ah.
So was the trunk open or y'all was closed in the trunk?
no, it's like you pulled it down the seat.
Oh, so y'all
It's
was
like
in
a
the car.
Oh,
and then-
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
got
Mhm.
you.
I know that's,
Oh, that's
right.
space.
It was a
He was
family
good.
car.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
planned it.
Yeah, he
No, he
That boy
didn't.
planned it out. He knew he was getting some dick.
No, because when we finished, he was like, he was like, what just happened? He was like, wait, did we just do that? And I was like, I guess we did.
Girl,
So-
stop being modest. You know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
Stay ready.
You
don't
get fucked in this trunk all the time.
Right.
Probably does. Shout out to him. So let's see. Next question is actually, audience, y'all let us know what experiences you guys have with hooking up. What was your first time like? And yeah. So my next question is for everyone. Have you ever fallen for a hookup? Like it was just sex at first, and then next thing you know, you're in love.
Real
You see
bad.
me and Sakani over
Real
here
bad.
like, yes.
Well, tell us about it.
Okay. So in 2020, when we wasn't even supposed to be outside or fucking nobody,
And you was.
I surely was. I was going through heartbreak, so I just had a month where I just did what I needed to do. But there was this one guy, and he was a football player, and he came over, and his body was just perfect. Like,
Yeah.
okay. He wanted me to like get dressed up for him, so I did. I wore something like what you have on, but they were like neon green, the color.
Fun.
And I had like some strappy heels on. And my mom wasn't home. She was in DR at the time, so I had the whole house to myself.
And your mother's home.
Shortly did.
Hi, mommy.
Love you.
And so we started having sex, and he really just blew my mind. Like, no shade. It was too good. What?
No, just you talking about this. I was prepared to say like, I don't have anyone. And then
It hit you.
Uh-oh.
You just woke it up so bad.
Yeah, he really was just going in and just feeling his body on me. I was just like, this is perfect. And okay, this is like weird, but like he was like, tell me you love me.
He put a spell on you.
And I did, and he said it back.
Mm.
Y'all never did that with a hookup?
He's talking.
No, babe.
No, I've never done that. But I hear about it all the time.
It's just
Oh,
dead?
mm-hmm. It was crazy.
It only
Okay, so what happened after?
once.
We finished, and then he
You know what I
left.
mean? Like were you like blowing him up? Like I
Oh,
want to
no.
see you. I want to.
No, he said it's dead.
Yeah.
It was clipped.
Well, that means you didn't fall in love with him after.
In the moment.
And I did fall for him.
Oh,
but
you mean like period? Like
Girl,
you're
you
stuck.
nutted. You was like, okay.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, I did fall for him during that. But like, if I hit you up and you don't respond, like I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you wasn't
so you wasn't
like-
about to be
I'm not
thirsty,
pressing it.
Got you.
Mm.
Like I know it was just
Yeah.
a hookup, and like I know it wasn't more than that. But I was like,
Yeah, I got.
Maybe we could try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
You
do it
know?
again.
Okay. I get
maybe we could try. So I did hit him up, and he responded for like a week after that, and then nothing.
Niggas.
Right.
They will rock your world and just
And
leave
be
it,
out.
behind.
Just have bomb dick and nothing other than that.
That's a lot of
fucked up.
people. That's a lot of.
But he did leave me his hoodie. It was cute.
Bro, he
I would
forgot.
have never gave it
He
back.
forgot about the hoodie, bitch.
I still have it.
Pussy so good, he was not thinking about his.
I still have it.
Monaco.
Oh yes, I remember you.
Oh, okay.
I don't wear it.
I was gonna say that's when it gets weird.
It's not my style.
But
Shout out to
Um,
him.
Okay.
yeah, for me, I feel like Macy has seen this more than everybody else. Like, I'm just such a hopeless romantic in my eyes. And I feel like a few guys I've dated over the past few years. Actually, like, if we think about the two guys I dated before my current boyfriend, one of them was a hookup.
Mhm.
Like, and
It got serious.
Yeah, like we just was fucking with it. Like sometimes I just feel like the vibe was there. And even with my boyfriend, like we didn't expect to get to this. Like the last episode of season 2, he hit me up that night. And now that y'all know who it is with more context, I had been wanting to date him for a while. Like I had been wanting to hang out. So he had hit me up to like chill that night. And I knew we was about to fuck. And I just kind of expected it to be that. And we just never stopped hanging out since that night. So I feel like for me, I'm just very open to it because I'm one of those people. I just feel like you can meet anybody anywhere, and I just feel like I remember even days when I was on dating apps and stuff like Jack. People would be like, "Well, you're only gonna meet somebody you can hook up with on there," but I'm like, I'm somebody that could date somebody, and I'm on here, so I don't feel like, I'm not gonna put that. Like, yes, I know the purpose that people are mainly on here for, but I don't know. I'm just like optimistic in that way. I just feel like anything could really happen. So
it's still 2 human beings. Just
I just feel like, I'm not judging. We're both on here. And like, we might want something specifically, but we could still want something else as well.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it's gonna, like, I don't know. I've met some people and the vibe was just given, we're gonna have sex and like, that's cool. But I've met some people and we really chilling. Like, it's like how I would hang out with y'all. So, I'm always like, when I was single, I was just open to it because I just felt like I never really know. And I feel like it kind of came to me when I wasn't looking for it. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's always when you're not looking for it.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, I feel like there was an instance we didn't have sex though. It was just like it turned into something that I was like, oh wait, I really, 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 really like this person. It was like 2018.
I remember the year.
So yeah, 2018 was crazy because I had just met this one guy, and we like only hung out like once, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. And then he just disappeared, and I was spiraling a little bit.
He ghosted?
Real bad. And then he would pop up again, and I'll be like,
"Oh,
hey,
them is the worst people."
And I was like, "I'm so available for you." And
you clear your books for them niggas. Like,
then he left.
They're
again.
the worst.
He left again, and then I was still being dumb. I was like, "Okay, it's fine." Then he left again, came back, left again, and I said, "Okay, this is enough."
What's a DL?
No,
I'm woken up.
No,
openly.
That reminds me of Malcolm.
Yeah, mine.
I thought you were going to say that reminds me of you.
My hookup that I fell for, he was DL.
Okay.
And prayers.
You look like a DL magnet.
Well, speaking of,
unfortunately.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm answer. I'm just way too much of an analytical person to ever fall for a hookup. Like before I've met you, I've already thought about the situation a million different ways. And I'm also like, I have been like doing sex work for a while, so I very rarely hook up if it's not sex work related. When I do, I tend to like hook up with people who are super narcissistic, and then they're so into themselves that it's not going to happen. Like it's just going to be this. Also doing content, like I've hooked up with some of like the most attractive men. And I don't know if that's helped me to develop this kind of like mentality, but it's just like there's so many fish in the sea.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like bad niggas, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But like, to get caught up on one,
100%.
Okay. So I have actually, before Sakani started, I was like, there's nobody I've ever fallen for that I was fucking with. But I actually have, and it actually turned into a relationship.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of how else.
What relationship was this?
Girl, there's only been like 3. So
started as a hookup.
yeah, so this one started as a hookup. I don't know if we was on Jacked. I don't know. I think it was.
Okay.
We was like, okay, let's meet up.
Shout out to Jack.
Shout out to Jack.
Yeah, they do.
Black one.
We met up and we like, it wasn't instant. It was like we was fucking around for like months. And he was DL, of course. And then it was just like I was kind of like, this is never gonna be anything. So
Because you're DL.
we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna have. And when I hook up, like back in the day, y'all, when I was bottoming, when I nutted, it was over. So like,
oh, absolutely.
Have a good night.
yeah, it was real bad, and it was like, but with him, I don't know. He would definitely get annoyed and shit, but But he would always just come back and for
Right.
more. And so I was like, period. And then, I don't know, things started growing and developing and we tried to be together. It just didn't work out. But yeah, I definitely fell for a hookup before. And I think it was nice. It was hot.
Do you think it's because you were at the bottom in the situation? Did it have anything to do with it?
Mm.
Yeah.
You're getting into the nitty gritty.
No.
Psychologically, I think that sometimes happens that where a bottom could fall for the top more because
Like penetration.
You're literally giving yourself.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I feel like it's so much easier to fuck than be fucked.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the bottoms that have mastered detachment because you guys are so important.
We are.
well, he's a top and
Girl, shut up.
I have.
you said you mastered detachment?
I do
Yeah.
not agree with that statement.
I don't know.
You just said that she was full of a hookup, so.
Like,
She
That
been telling
was- it
us
was just
all.
one,
She been
just
telling
one.
us all morning about the veins and
The
the
veins.
veins, baby, the veins.
But that-
I need it. I need
detached.
it. Give it to me, Rachel.
That was 5 years ago.
But that was
Oh yeah, that was 5 years ago.
I can't
But-
talk about a dick without being detached.
You can, sister.
Oh, okay.
They're talking about a dick, which is just lust. It's not really love.
Exactly.
Yeah, you was just enjoying it. Like,
Exactly.
hello?
So check yourself.
why-
Thank you.
No, I get it.
Yeah. So that was my experience. Definitely have fallen for a hookup and it was nice. Audience, have you ever fallen for a hookup? Let us know how it is in the comments. So y'all, has a potential hookup ever catfished you?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I milked him.
Who want to go first? Because
I'll
I got
go
a story
first.
for this.
But my catfish, again, this was in 2020 when I was just fucking down. But but he catfished me, but like reverse catfish. You know how someone catfishes you like
Oh, you told me about this.
to
yeah.
be more attractive? He made himself less attractive. And when he got to my doorstep, I was like, wait,
Oh.
this
Okay.
is different.
What in the
Nice.
Cinderella?
So I was even happier with the outcome because he ended up being cuter than his photos.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my catfish story.
Go ahead.
So for mine, this was maybe like 2017. I was visiting home. 2017, 2018, around that era. And there was a time, it was also in Jacked. And you know how some like older, what I feel like my experience is with some of the older gays, they use younger pictures.
Yo, Tay, you took my thing. I swear to God, I was gonna say that.
Because it's a problem. It really
They
is a
love to
problem.
use a picture from 2006.
Because that was like
Right.
10, 15 years ago, and you do not look the same.
And it reminds me of like my mom who doesn't change her profile picture on Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
why do you have this old? Why are you sending me this?
Right.
And that's like the main picture that they use as like the profile. It's not just like an additional photo. It's
Yo,
always
that's
the
so
main
real,
one.
Tay. Clock
So
that tea.
when I pull up to the house and I'm a little like, I was just a little confused where I was. I said, okay, this is a little.
This is a
out of the way.
retirement home. What the? Fuck?
And you know, I don't have a problem with like older gays, obviously, because you know, that's just what it is. That comes with the territory. So then when he opens the door, I'm like, you don't look how you look, but it's not like bad. It's just not what I was expecting.
So you're off guard.
Where's
You're
your
caught off
son?
guard.
Where's the family? Because what? This was crazy. So then after that, I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I'm even feeling this right now, but I'm just gonna see, like maybe just a conversation or something can happen. I didn't have an
It's
expectation
awkward.
at that
like
point.
you don't
yeah.
just turn around. Like you're kind of stuck. For
Right.
A while, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So I could leave if I want to, but it
You
was
could,
just
but it's like that. Yeah, I get
it's
what
like,
I get it.
yeah.
Like you filling it out still. Like you know
yeah,
what?
exactly.
I'm
So-
here.
Like you gotta be.
I done already
you gotta
took
be
the
a real,
drive,
you gotta be a
spent the
real
gas
dickhead
money.
to get there and be like hot, and then turn around. No.
Like psych.
I would start screaming.
Yes.
Yeah. Open the
So-
door. Y'all know that Courage the Cowardly Dog meme? Oh my God. Y'all know that Courage the Cowardly Dog meme? When
Yeah.
he's like, the guy's really ugly, and then the old man opens the door and he starts screaming. I have to show y'all that after
Yes,
this.
please, we gotta. see
Y'all are
that.
going to laugh your asses off. But yeah, continue.
So
sir.
then there was like a different part of the house. So like upstairs was a part, and then downstairs we go downstairs and I'm like, okay, it looks like we're going into like a cellar low-key. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on, like the vibe. And it was just like a wooden house.
No.
But it felt like unfinished. And then the bed was nice, but it was just like, okay, so we just like, I'm sitting on a bed. I'm like, I don't really think this is happening. Takes his shirt off. He starts like feeling me a little bit. And then, yes, he takes his shirt off. And I said, wait, what is that?
Beep, beep.
I would have. Oh my god.
And that's no shade, because that people have like conditions like that, and that's fine. But my younger self was just like, "Girl, what the fuck is going on?"
This is too much.
Yeah, I was like, I was overstimulated in all the wrong ways.
You need a nigga like 40 up. That
scared you.
Yeah,
It was very predator.
this is something a grandfather of mine would have. Like,
So I was just like, "Oh no!" I said, "Okay, yeah, this is it for
I'm
me."
sorry,
I have to
babe.
go.
Who?
I said, "I have to go."
traumatic.
Right now. He said, "Wait." But yeah, I was traumatized because I would. That's why I feel some kind of way when people use like older pictures, because especially if they're older, as I said, they resort back to the pictures that were a hit 20 years ago when you don't look like that.
Yeah.
And they make it like super blurry, but also make it to the sense of like that's like the thought behind a picture of it being blurry.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's crazy.
It's funny because I just feel like that's like almost like dating apps 101 to me. Like, if I would have known that when I was younger on those apps, it would have saved me so much time, because I was just like, this picture do look kind of old, but
Yeah.
you know, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking much of it. Whereas to now or a few years ago, I could tell right away.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
could just tell, like, baby, this picture is from the 90s or the early
Yeah.
2000s. Like,
Yeah.
this is not even from the last 10 years.
Right.
So,
Not taking my phone.
yeah, I think that was like very real with Tay said. I was gonna touch on that too. But the incident that sparked my mind instantly when I thought of this was when I was back home. I moved to New York for a while, then moved back home, and then Mia, my best friend Mia, got a house together. And when we were single, we had like we used to be kicking our niggas out at the same time, having breakfast together. Like, it's so funny that we're like both in relationships and things are so different now. But we were like living like single people, you know? So I was on the apps one day and I'm like chatting with this guy. We're talking about like, you know, linking up. Everything's going good. Boom, boom, boom. He gets there that night and like, I don't know why, but something told me to just leave the screen door locked before he walked up. Like, and I never did that. Like, I just always will open both doors. So like, he's walking up. And then the closer he get, I'm just kind of like, this don't look like the hairstyle from the picture. This don't like. He gets up to the screen door, and I'm looking at my phone and looking at him, and I'm like, this is not you.
Something not adding.
And he's like, oh, can we just talk?
No.
And I was just like,
So he knew.
He knew.
This has happened before.
They know.
so I'm looking at him like, you dead ass wrong. You don't come to my house. And so I'm not gonna lie, I let him in to talk because I also did it. I had 3 roommates and I did not want to have that conversation
Drama,
at the front
yeah.
door, you know? So I'm like, in the front door, it's like the way the house was set up, everyone would hear the conversation from the front door.
Mm.
So I was just like, let me let this nigga in. We'll talk in my room, then I'm kicking him back out. So we go in my room and talk, and I'm just giving him mad smoke. I'm like, you really would just come to somebody's house sending him fake pictures. He's like, I'm so sorry. I just thought you were so attractive. The thing that killed me the most, he wasn't more attractive than the person he sent me. Like, they just looked different, but I didn't think it was like they was both like a 7 to me. So I was just like, you know, like you could have just sent your own pictures. I would have still linked up with you. But we talking, chatting, da-da-da. And it got to the point where I was just like, all right, well, I'm uncomfortable with this. And like, he was really adamant. So he was still writing me on the app and stuff. He's like, you know, like whatever I could do to hang out with you.
What, the same night?
Same night, the following day. Like, but I think it was like the following week where I was like, I messaged him back because he was messaging me on a daily basis. And I was kind of just like, because I could have just blocked him. But I was kind of like, you know what, we're not chilling. So
His good pussy moody was going off.
it
He's
was
like, I gotta
going
have this.
off the rails. So I started getting me and my roommate food and shit. I'm like, I'm about to have this nigga bring us food. He about to buy us some pizza and shit. And I just started having him bring me weed and shit. Like, I just started getting shit from him because I was like, he really want to chill. And like, I never did nothing with him either. It's the crazy part.
Period.
So I just kind of milked that situation for that because I'm like, you catfished me and you doing all of this shit to try to hang out with me. And I'm just going to utilize that. So
Absolutely.
Good.
that was my catfishing experience.
Period.
Queen.
I love that for you.
Was eating good.
Did you have one?
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah, I haven't really had one either. I did have to kick a couple out because I don't think they catfished me though.
Like
They
a
just
couple.
They weren't hot. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's supposed to be a little threesome set. But then I was like, oh,
Sorry.
Nah.
So, are you guys the type to kiss and tell with a hookup?
My girls, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck what nobody
Just keep it in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I don't tell y'all everything. Well, now it's different. But
I do
before
tell
was in a
y'all. I be sending
relationship,
y'all pictures.
I feel like me and you were the most open in the group before I was in a relationship. I feel like every time we link up, y'all was hearing about something with us. I feel like you two are so much more private though.
I am.
Sneaky.
Like Macy will tell us if we ask, but he doesn't just tell us. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's like, y'all want to know?
Right.
I think it definitely depends on the person, because like obviously like it could be somebody else's man. It could be it could be someone who, you know, especially me being who I am, like, you know, I can understand people not wanting our names to like be in the same conversation, like publicly. So for me, it's definitely like some stuff I don't tell my friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but some stuff I literally just keep to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on the person. Like if it's tea, it's tea, but if it's not meant to be tea, it's not meant to be tea.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I feel that, but sometimes with a group of friends, it's more important to tell it because this one time,
it happens all the time with us.
Ja was falling for this guy who I had previously hooked up with like maybe a month before that.
Damn, okay.
And we were having like issues with him because he kept hitting both of us up. I'm like, bro, if you want to be with my friend, go with my friend.
And
Like, I don't
by the
want
point,
you.
we done addressed the fact that both of us, you need to stop. Because he was giving, I kind of hate that, like,
I think he wanted to be a busy boy.
it was giving that because he knew about the podcast. And then when I'm talking to him about it, he giving, oh my God, that's so cool. I had no idea. Da, 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 da.
Wow.
You've already heard this whole spiel from my friend.
Mhm.
Like, you already know about it and you've seen me because they've showed you pictures of the podcast. So, yeah, it was just, that is one of the benefits I agree with as well. Because sometimes it can just like save you from a train crash. Or also, this
Exactly.
could have been somebody your friend was serious with and you never knew about it. So now it's like, say you just decide not to tell them, then y'all pop out together. And it's like, well, damn, bitch, that was my nigga for 3 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh god.
3 years is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that it makes sense as far as like open communication, as far as close friends and like, you know,
Yeah.
having the conversations or like openness about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that with literally everybody.
It's still
Yeah,
a choice,
no.
though.
Yeah.
That's never gonna be like a everybody type
Yeah,
thing. It's
public
really
kinda
like your
thing.
close friends, best
I feel
friends.
like
Well-
people
type
make
thing.
it like it can be a big thing nowadays, especially with like social media. I feel like people can use that as like far as
Yeah.
kissing and telling.
One thing I was going to say is that people on like social media, like even in their close friends,
they'll
close
be
circles,
posting about who
they're
they
like,
fucking.
bitch, this dick was so bomb. And it's half of New York in their close
And
friends.
now half of
Yeah.
New York about to go try to get that dick.
Exactly. And now everybody know that they out here fucking. So
There's
it's
at
just like,
least 2 people in your close friends at all times who are ops. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you really feel that way?
yeah, you added them because maybe deep down inside you knew and you just wanted to stir the pot. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't know. I'm the type to add the op. Yeah. But
I'm screaming.
like I know you're an ops. I'm about to feed you
watch
some
this,
information
babes.
Right.
to the blog.
Yeah.
To the blogs.
It's like calling the paparazzi. Come meet me.
Right. But then sometimes you don't know. So like
Mhm.
I never like I don't take my close friends is really never anything that I don't want out there.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's genuinely my close friends and like a couple people
Yeah.
that aren't,
Yeah.
but like are cool.
Yeah. I feel like I don't even use my close friends. I used to use it a lot. Maybe it's been a couple years, but I used to use it heavily and I was just like doing crazy shit. But now I just
Yeah, my close friends used to be so fun.
Yeah, it's
No,
not fun
so
anymore. I'm
dry.
like, I miss y'all, but no, I can't do it too much.
Can't be messy anymore.
No,
But I wouldn't say that I kiss and tell. But if you ask me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you
That's
don't.
true.
You definitely don't.
Like, yeah, that
That's
happened. But I'm not about to go, hey, I fucked so-and-so and tell
Mhm.
everybody.
Like what?
It's
Niggas
just
should be
it's kind of
bragging about
corny.
me, like-
Right, exactly.
Right. So with the advancement of social media, how do you guys feel like hookup culture has evolved?
Well, you shouldn't be getting catfished.
That start there.
Yeah.
Y'all should be
Number one
FaceTiming.
thing.
Let's talk.
Like, come
Right.
on. There's been a show about this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what more
Right.
do we need to do as a society so it stops
Yeah.
happening?
it's still going on too. The show, which is crazy to think about that. People
They ain't never
still
going out of
fall for it.
business.
Yeah,
I feel like with like social media, it's made like hookups so much more accessible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, bitch, you can get on Jack right now. It is a nigga 300 feet away.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you
just
can get it on
like-
Instagram.
Yeah, you could get on Instagram,
Instagram, you
Twitter.
can't see their location though. It's the convenience factor. Like, bitch, you're right
Yeah.
next
Well,
door.
do you
Come-
consider Jack
let's-
to be social media?
Well,
Mm.
yeah, because it's like you can talk, chat, video chat. You can,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like the posting it or whatever. But I feel like it's all under that umbrella.
But it's a
Like-
dating app. I don't know
Mhm.
if I consider dating apps. Well, they are social
Hookup app.
media, I guess. But I don't know. I think the general term social
Social.
media, people think of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like
Yeah.
communications that aren't like specifically for
I
dating.
prefer a social media connection. Like I
Mhm.
prefer to already, you know, be like have my eye on you on your page.
Yeah.
You know, I
See how you move.
Yeah,
Yeah, not for
Mhm.
nothing. Somebody's social media presence.
Uh.
I've hooked up with guys like that where
Mm.
I thought they was that nigga, then I see their Instagram and I'm like,
Nope.
Ugh.
oh,
Not this.
that is not
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's happened a couple times to me.
Mhm.
gagged me so bad.
I think, yeah. Anybody else have anything to add to that one?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, cool. So has anyone in this room been in a dark room at a sex party?
Never,
And what was your experience like?
I would never do that.
never in my
I think I
life.
just have a little too much class for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just
In a dark room at a sex party or a sex party period.
Both.
Both.
I went to sex parties down when I was a kid.
How old were you?
Well, not a kid, but like
Me
17,
sucks.
18.
Mhm.
Like,
I was a
around that
kid.
time. Yeah, I was a kid.
What were they like?
Oh my
Back in the
God,
day.
It's so seedy.
Not
but
back
it's
in the
so
day.
fab.
Back in the day.
It's
Okay,
so-
like walk us through it.
oh, it's so seedy, but it's so fab. It's like so. Also telling my age, you would find out about the sex parties. This is before, like now I feel like Twitter, they're like posting the sex parties and like,
Mhm.
but like I would find out about the sex parties on Adam for Adam. They had
Adam for
a
Adam.
section for sex parties, and like being here in New York, there are some of the fabbest sex parties in the city, like especially the black ones in
Mhm.
They be
Brooklyn.
lit.
like in East New York. Like, yeah. So like one that I remember distinctly was like it was like in like a brownstone. If you ever been to like after hours in Brooklyn, like in a brownstone, it was kind of like the same kind of vibe
Mm.
where it's like, yeah, you walk in and then they ask you, well, the good ones you have to pay.
Mhm.
And so like you pay the fee, and then usually the fee it just covers like them holding on to your clothes and like refreshments. So yeah, you give them the clothes. You can keep your underwears on, but you're gonna take the bulk of your clothes off. You keep your shoes on, and then you just go into this apartment, which looks so radically different than. It's like an apartment during a blackout. Like it's dark.
Mm.
Like, you know, like so you've never been in this apartment before. So you don't know the layout of the apartment.
Mhm.
And you're just kind of just
So
like
excited.
Walking around.
So this one that I remember distinctly, like you come in, the room with the most light was like the kitchen area where the refreshments were. And so you had like people like opening the refrigerator to kind of get like the light. And like kinda,
I'm
like,
screaming.
Yeah.
Scope it out.
See a nigga face real quick.
Yeah, like this is
That's
like
smart,
where,
though.
yeah, like if you really want to see the partner, you would go to the kitchen area.
Got you.
And then there was like a little like kind of like vestibule, hallway, walkway area. There was a little cot set up there. There were people doing
Doing the do.
right there. This was also where the condoms and lube were. A lot of people were paying that.
Of
and
course.
So, yeah, the gays. And so yeah, then you go into the deep and then it was just dark. And so like it's like kind of how you were saying, like you're just moving people aside.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never been by myself. I would always go with a friend. And so my friend was like notorious for like shining the light on the phone, which is against the rules.
Right.
But yeah, and it's almost like they're allergic to light. Like they'll see that and then they'll like duck into the
Yeah.
Start scattering.
Nobody
yeah, because there's a
wants to
lot of
be
like
like-
that is like truly where you will encounter DL men. Like truly,
Mm.
they be at the sex parties for
Mhm.
sure. And so, I've actually had like intercourse at a sex party when I was younger. But now I wouldn't go to a sex party unless I was like on the flyer and I was getting paid.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
They might put you on a flyer, but they might not pay you.
Yeah, like, yeah. So yeah. Trust me, I've had that conversation a few times before.
I hooked up with someone here a few years ago, and he kind of just like invited me to my first one, and it was kind of, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say like show me the ropes, but like it was like I went to like an intimate one with him. It was just like some friends at a house, and it was like my first orgy. And then he invited me to an actual sex party where it was just like mad niggas,
Strangers, yeah.
and I was just like, oh my God. Like, it was kind of like I had so much anxiety walking around. I kept thinking like, oh my God, somebody in here is going to know me. Like, and
I was so
after a couple of drinks, after I just started feeling myself, like, I had the time of my life. Like, the drinks were
You have to
drink.
loosen up.
It's like they be putting like, the drinks always be so strong that it's like first cup, you just kind of like, all right, time to get to business. Like, anxiety was gone. And I've had a good time at them. I wouldn't, like I also wouldn't go now, but I feel like I've gone enough and I've had the experience to where it's like,
it was fun.
yeah, I got to do that in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it was fun. I don't feel like it wasn't like one of those things like I really wish I got to do it. Like, you know, I got to do it and I got to have fun at them. I don't feel like I've ever had an experience at one where I was like, I never have like a bad story from one.
The internet, like especially Twitter, like everyone obsesses over like DL man and DL culture. If you have never had that experience, you will have it at the sex party. You will see men, you won't really see them, but you'll see the shadow of them that you won't meet anywhere but in this instance. So if you're into that, go.
Well, hopefully you're not. DL niggas are just hell.
I mean, but it's you don't really exchange numbers.
Yeah, it's a sex
That's
party.
true too.
Yeah.
It's
You
more of
just
a
having
sexual
sex.
experience.
That's what they're good for. So I've never been to a sex party, but I've been to a dark room twice, I think. Does the Eagle count? Because we went there.
They have a dark room?
Well, it wasn't like a dark room, but
They have a floor where you can fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just nice just tipping through and being like, ooh, fun. But never did anything, of course. I'm too scary. I would have to be zooted up. But
so now how does that work though? Because like if it starts as a club and you're seeing the girls, like the girls be in the dark room, and so it's like what happens here stays here.
I don't know.
I feel like that's been my experience.
Girls with social media presence, like they be in there.
Yeah.
But
Doing it.
yeah.
But I was
Just
in
like
LA,
us.
yo,
but it's like, all right.
But I just also feel like we all, like that really is one of those things I feel like we really are here for the same reason. So it's really no point, because it's like, well, you saw me, but you was here too, bitch. So what you was doing?
Right.
Yeah, so nobody's
personally-
clocking your tea. It's just like,
Okay.
Yeah, like I've essentially, like I've hosted the nudism party, and I'm like, I kind of felt a little awkward at first, but then I was just like, yeah, it is. I don't know. It's just one of those things I feel like we're both here for the same reason. So you can't clown me for this because you're here. Now, if you ain't come and you saw it on social media or something, that's different. But if you saw me in there, bitch, like.
well, either way, I feel like if you're sexually liberated, even if you see me, like that's not really tea or anything to talk about. It's like we both here for the same reason. We're both sexually liberated, here to have a good time. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm saying like the people like Macy who just walk through kind of like just, peeking.
Being
like,
messy.
But
Right. So the Macy's, I don't know, but Macy, I don't think so.
I would get down, but it just has to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta be the right nigga,
Okay.
right length. Things just gotta make sense. But yeah. I actually, the nudism party that you just brought up, that's another one that I
Came and left.
It was like 10 minutes, but yeah. All right, so we're running out of time. So let's go ahead and answer this anonymous question really, really quick. So this is so funny because we just had a viral little clip about this. Does size, yes. Well, yes. Does size matter? Do you think it matters more to women or men in a sexual aspect? Do you think men overthink when it comes to the size of their penis? I think that women and men both obsess over length when it comes to a penis. Sex in the City, Samantha was always complaining about a little dick there, a little dick there. So it's nothing new. It's been around since like the beginning of time. You will find the person who is for you, who doesn't care about your length or whatever. It's going to work for them. They're going to love it. And you're going to also run into people who need a little bit more. You're just gonna have to make
Yeah.
peace with that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree completely. I don't have anything to add to that. I just agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I do think that length or dick size in general is something that a lot of guys have an insecurity about. And but I think it's natural. I think it could be like height or hair. You know, just
Mhm.
like I think it's one of those things it's normal to have insecurity about because it's not
Mhm.
something you have to do something to change it. You know? It's not something you can just wake up and change. So I think it's a big insecurity for a lot of guys. And I think because so many people want a big dick, that makes it an insecurity as well. Because it's like those things where I think of like tall, dark, and handsome, you know, like no one is saying short, dark, and handsome. Like for the most part, it's not like a known slogan. So I just think like it's like a society thing, like a
Yeah.
societal. Oh, everyone's supposed to have a big dick. If
Mhm.
you don't, you're a loser. So I think it does make people feel bad. Even our real, I'm sure that made some small dick people feel like,
Oh, they were riled
I'm
up.
sure their feelings
They were riled
hurt.
up a little bit.
Really?
look at
Yeah.
these 4 divas mad at me because I have a shrimp dick.
We
Well,
weren't mad.
no, we weren't mad at. All right, we need to clear this up now because we weren't mad at anyone for having a small dick. What I said
Was if you're lying,
stop lying on your little
Yes.
dick.
Oh.
which is right. But you know, people always take things out of context.
Mhm.
But all of that to say, yeah, I think it matters to men and women, but I also think that everybody is different. Like
Mhm.
that real, we saw a lot of people saying, I like small dicks, or you know, I've had
Mhm.
guys please me that had
Exactly.
this,
There
and
was so
I haven't
many.
said
Yeah.
anything since then. So it's like, you know, we were able to see just from that, like everybody is different. Everybody is
Yeah.
pleased in a different way. Some people don't even like penetration, so that's not
Mhm.
even what
Yeah.
it's about to them. So
And the
Very
funniest
much so.
thing, before just to wrap this up, the funniest thing is for me that so many of the comments was like, "Oh, you wide hole bitches, y'all got like a tunnel for a hole, y'all so deep dish," and it's just like, okay, so because you felt attacked because you have a penis that you don't think is up to our standards,
now I'm
you want to
loose.
start going on the offense
Mhm.
and become.
And now we know you have a small dick because why are you over here taking shots at us all of a sudden? Like,
Right.
It-
What
it's
do you
just very back? It's very silly and like just.
just
fun.
girl, be calm.
please.
Does anybody else have anything to add to that one?
I was gonna say, I feel like size does matter, obviously, to certain people. Definitely men and women, but like, there's nothing wrong with like, you know, boyfriend dick or husband dick.
Boyfriend
It's like,
dick. What
'cause
happened
it's like,
to
you know,
that?
because
Boyfriend dick is the best.
you can still get a challenge, but you can still have fun, you know, and that's what
Mm.
I don't want to be in pain all the time. So it's just
Mm.
like, if I can still feel a challenge, but I want to have fun and I want to try different things out, that's like the best way for me to do it.
Yeah, and I also feel like if you do have a smaller dick, it's not like the end of the world. You just need to improve yourself in other areas. Make sure you're the best pussy eater in this world. Make sure that you know how to turn a bitch up, rub there, rub here. You just need to make up for that. And there's nothing wrong with it.
And make sure you know how to use what you got. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it is what it like. You could
Because
the
even some
motion in the
people-
ocean.
Yes, 'cause
Yeah.
I was gonna say some people even can have like the biggest dick and don't know how to use it. So it's
Should
just
be
pain,
hurting.
pain.
Yeah.
Pound, pound, pound.
I think when it comes to size, there's like fantasy versus reality.
Mhm.
As
Real.
as a
Mm.
porn star, I could tell you what pays. People don't search small dick. They
Mhm.
they search
Mendangos.
BBC.
Specifically.
And so I think that for like fantasy and aesthetics and like, you know, for especially for pornography and what people like to like watch to get themselves off, they definitely size does matter. But I feel like in reality, like not everybody's walking around with that, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like people are definitely realistic in their real life. Like for example, like let's say you're dating somebody and then, you know, they have a crush on a celebrity and like, does that like make you feel some type of way? Like, you know, it's just like kind of like fantasy versus like what is
Yeah.
real,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
What's in
So
front of your face? But yeah, okay, cool. Well, I think this was a great conversation.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Yes,
Yes, thank you so much,
Pleasure
Ron.
to have
Thank
you.
Thank you guys, audience, for tuning into episode 6. You know we looked amazing in our lingerie. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment. Love you. Busy Boy
Mwah.
signing off.
Oh.